Granted, when Herpa last year started releasing historic Maersk Air models in Scale 200, I guess I should have seen it coming that they would also release current day aircraft models from the airline in Scale 500, but I really didn't, so you can imagine how excited I got when Herpa announced this aircraft model. And in a way, I am still excited about it, even though it also very clearly portrays some of Herpa's shortcomings. But we can take a closer look at what is up with this aircraft model thanks to the great prices of the F&B shop. Do check them out, the link is in the video description below. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where today we'll take a closer look at a Boeing 767-300F of Maersk Air Cargo. At the front of the box we have a cutout, so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of that we have the Maersk branding. When it comes to the backside of the box, well, there really isn't much to say about this, definitely nothing positive, so let's just leave it as it is, and let's focus on the model inside. And here she is, the wonderful Maersk Air Cargo in the current standard livery of the airline. I am very excited about this aircraft because, well, I have many fond childhood memories with this airline. Now, obviously, I wasn't shipped around in a cargo aircraft, but they used to be a PAX carrying airline until Maersk ceased those operations and now have brought back the brand with Maersk Air Cargo. Of course, in the previous years, they have actually already been flying cargo, but under the Star Air branding. So apart from a lot of excited nostalgia from my side, what can the aircraft model actually offer collectors? That's what we want to find out. And if we start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, we see the iconic Maersk branding on the vertical stabilizer. On the fuselage, we then have the full registration code of the aircraft, and we find the Maersk slogan all the way. Towards the very tail of the aircraft, we then also have a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. Now, at the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage, we have the writing of Maersk Air Cargo, and we have the main cargo hatch. We also, next to the cabin door, find the Maersk branding. If we look very closely and the blue underbelly, we actually also here find at least one little dot indicating some form of detail, but there could have been so much more. I mean, yes, of course, cargo aircraft don't really have that many kind of details, so Herpa can save a lot on the print here. They don't need to add any cabin windows, for example. So instead of doing that, they could have added just the very few things that actually the real aircraft does have. And when we look at the real aircraft, well, we can see there are kind of a few small hatches, or which could just be printed on with small black dots. Or for example, the patchet tubes we see at the front of the aircraft. I mean, why does Herpa not add that? When they can save on the rest of the prints, they should not be lazy and then skip out on these very easily done details. And it's unfortunately the same story around the cockpit section, where we have the cockpit windows with the metallic edges and the window wipers, but we could, for example, also have had a little bit of detailing around the radome, as we again can see with the real aircraft. But okay, let's move on to the engine nacelles for now. They have been kept in this lovely light blue color of Maersk, have the Maersk branding and the silver leading edge printed on, but no further details here. However, the real aircraft does also really not seem to have like safety markings or something like that, at least not visible from a distance, so I guess that's alright. The physical detailing of the engines is just fine in my opinion, especially here from the front, where very nice you can see the engine fan blades. And then we should of course also take a closer look at the wings, starting off with the top side, where we have the different flaps, slats and spoilers carved out fairly nicely, although a little bit drowned away by the grey base paint, but we do have different shades of grey here for additional detailing. The underside of the wing, however, I think looks really lovely with some great physical detailing. And we also find the full registration code of the aircraft once again. And of course, the 767 also comes with these lovely winglets, again with the great looking light blue of Maersk and the Maersk branding printed on. Now, the landing gear, that is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all their 767 aircraft models, and I think, honestly speaking, it looks pretty good. The main landing gear just fine, also the front landing gear looks pretty good, but why is one white stripe and two white letters too much to ask for as a print here at the front landing gear? I will never know. On the belly of the aircraft, we then do find a hole in the fuselage for a stand, which is not included with this aircraft model, making it rather pointless, but at least it doesn't destroy any printed details, so at least that. And then, of course, we have the remaining doors to the cargo compartments printed onto the aircraft model here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 767-300F in the current standard livery of Maersk Air Cargo in scale 1 to 500 from Herpa Wings. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, I guess a lovely aircraft model with a great livery, so everything is fine. Or is it? And I can hear you already. Oh, come on, Bongo, now you're just repeating yourself. Herpa not adding details to the aircraft model, that's not news. And I mean, you're right, it is not news. But they should still do it. But even if that is all I could say about the aircraft model, I mean, I guess I would still be happy just because it is a Maersk Air Cargo. But I don't think this is enough for everybody. But unfortunately, it gets a little bit worse. Because unfortunately, Herpa isn't just lazy with their print, they are also cutting corners. And how can we see that? Well, with the transition from white to light blue, we have a very visible and clear edge all across the aircraft.
Brother, what's that?
And this only happens when you are too lazy to print your aircraft model properly. If you had added enough color in the print to this aircraft model, this line would not be visible. But it is, and it just proves Herpa is cutting corners wherever they can. I don't mind it if we don't see it, but we very clearly do here, and that is a problem, especially when Herpa has an official retail price for this aircraft model of a staggering 40 euros. I'm sorry, if you want 40 euros from collectors, then you have to do your job properly. Herpa has not done so. I still love this aircraft model to bits because of nostalgic reasons, because I have a connection to this airline, I feel, and Herpa is very clearly taking advantage of that. So with that mixed conclusion, I guess we can end today's video. If you have enjoyed this review, then feel free to leave a like. If you're new around here, why not hit subscribe? Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.